Yesterday we were reading the O.J. Playboy interview, which was quite something.
This thing is just terrific. It covers everything, really, across the board.
We wrapped it up with the O.J. song, so maybe that's where we'll start today.
Murdered Nicole Simpson and Ronald Goldman. He stabbed both of them to death with a machete. He was arrested on 2 state murder charges. O.J. Simpson was taken to jail.
O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson. Wesley Willis, by the way, passed away last week at the age of 40. He had leukemia. Sad story.
We knew about the schizophrenia, but
no, I didn't know either.
He was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department at 9 o'clock p.m. Outside the walls of Simpson's estate, members of O.J. Simpson's family hugged each other. They cried after word of the arrest came out. O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson,
I never liked it when Wesley played with this toy, this harmonizer.
Yes. Forget it.
He did that on the Drew and Mike song and ruined it.
Wrecked it. He had the best beat going with Chicken Cow song. And
this is that music bed for the Chicken Cow song, which was used for many of his songs.
O.J. Simpson was a no good jerk. He is a asshole. He had no business killing his ex-wife Nicole and her friend Ronald Goldman. O.J. Simpson played on the Naked Gun and Roots, but as of now, he is a hardened criminal.
O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson.
O.J.,
Rock over London, rock on Chicago, the exclusive company. Stay with me.
Murder! You ugly murder!
Wesley needs to prepare to get bloody after calling O.J. an asshole there.
That's right.
Because we learned that yesterday.
He gets, he's been called a murderer so many times that it really doesn't bother him anymore. But you call him an a-hole, and that's a call to arms.
Prepare to get bloody.
And juicy.
And juicy.
Yeah, he spit all over this guy.
Yeah, he said he was extra juicy.
We left off with his road rage trial, and you want to just start... there's no way to paraphrase what we did yesterday.
We just have to dive into it.
Okay.
O.J., do you acknowledge that you lost more than money in the civil trial? It confirmed what most people suspected, and you lost your reputation.
That's the only reason I kept fighting. A lot of friends told me that I couldn't win this trial. They had it all set up, the way they picked a jury. Oh, as if they didn't pick the jury for his criminal trial.
Oh, my Lord.
The hardest part afterwards was adjusting to having kids and not having unlimited funds. When we first moved, I had no credit cards. I had to get a car, buy a house. I had no cash to put down, so I was hustling. In many ways, though, my life is better now. My budget ain't what it used to be, but that's all. I don't have the Ferraris, the Rolls Royce. Always used to drive my Bronco anyway. I'm fine as long as I get to and from the golf course. Yeah. Mind you not that you are the pariah of the century. As long as you can get to and from the golf course, no problem.
That's all it is with him, isn't it? From the very beginning, the minute he hit the streets, it was golf, 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 golf.
I love that he can never acknowledge that anyone has ever gotten the best of him.
Yeah,
so
right.
I drove the Bronco anyway.
Oh, definitely.
They didn't take anything away from me.
And I golf, I love golf, and I'm still playing golf, so it hasn't affected my lifestyle at all.
Isn't it ironic that he and Scott Peterson are these big golf heads in the middle of all this?
What's the chance of it?
It's like, hey, as long as I can play golf, everything's cool.
Oh, yeah, and that's the word to the public, is that, hey, I'm having a great time. Who doesn't love to golf? Hey, it's great. Well, how often do you play?
Pretty much every day.
What do you get from golf, Juice?
Scott Peterson was playing golf, and people were saying, what kind of guy is this? This may be his wife's remains, he's going to play golf. When I got home from Chicago the week Nicole was murdered, I wanted to get out on a golf course.
Instead of saying after I killed Nicole, I wanted to get on a golf course. I've been in a round of golf after I just absolutely brutally killed somebody.
I wanted to get away from all the crap, all the hurt, all the pain. It's the only place you can get away from everything. I didn't go, but I had that feeling. I know that far more executives would be in therapy if it wasn't for golf. I don't know if you noticed, but a few of his friends helped Vitas Gerolitis get off drugs, and then his addiction became golf. I used to play with him every day.
Was golf an addiction for you?
It is. Next to sex, it's the single most addictive thing I've ever been into.
Oh, that just absolutely... Oh, okay, Juice. Yeah, you're the sex machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, some reports hold that you were on drugs before the murders back in 1994. Were you using drugs?
No. And I was tested about 100 times.
Well, what drugs have you used?
I remember the first time I took a puff of pot as a kid and going after the girl. I got so weirded out, I ran all the way home, virtually across town, trying to get it out of my lungs. You dumbass.
Yo. What? It's ridiculous. Trying to get it out of his lungs. If he can breathe fast enough and deep enough, it'll go away.
I was thinking I would never play professional ball. Around 1972, there was a lot of pot around the NFL. Late in the season when it was snowing in Buffalo and you couldn't go out, a lot of the guys smoked pot. You could sit around, play cards, smoke a doobie, fall asleep, then go to practice the next day. I don't consider myself a pot smoker now, but I think it should be legal.
Way to incriminate all your teammates as well.
Let's keep the laughs coming, eh, Simpson?
Broad brush the whole team as pot smokers. Well, how about cocaine?
When I retired from football, everybody was doing cocaine. If anybody in Hollywood tells you they weren't, they're lying their ass off. I was like everybody else, right? My house at the time of the murder was searched more than any house in America has ever been searched. If drugs was there, they would have been found.
Well, there were, in fact, stories that you were using cocaine around the time of the murders.
Steve Resnick said I was with him at a party once and he went under the table. That was total BS.
There's, again, Faye Resnick hates her guts. Do you use any drugs now, even occasionally?
I drink some scotch, as if that's a drug.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
My drug of choice now is Viax.
Oh, yeah, right. You inflammatory medication.
When I got out of jail, I kind of appreciated pot more than I ever had in my life. I didn't have my kids at first. I couldn't go nowhere. They used to call me Two Puffs. 2 puffs, I'm home. I watch TV, then I'd sleep like a baby.
2 puffs, they called them 2 puffs. How about ecstasy?
In 1993, one rat, a famous young lady, brought ecstasy to a party. About 20 people took it. I never felt the high. I'm not a pill guy. Pills are not my thing, except glucosamine.
Do you ever have nightmares about Nicole or her murder?
I used to a lot. At first, I wasn't able to sleep at all, which is why I took sleeping pills. Now I hardly ever dream about it. Why is he dreaming about the murders?
Well, that's right.
This is an ex-wife who he, by all accounts, can't stand.
Definitely.
I mean, he even has said as much that she invited this murder with her party lifestyle.
Right.
Why is he dreaming about the deaths? Can't sleep?
Yeah. Could it be this branded in his brain because he did it? As an athlete, you probably wondered if women were interested in you or in your celebrity. Do the murders bring you a different type of attention?
Strange thing is that it's actually easier now. Again, he's gotten the best of the world.
Right. No problem.
Celebrity and notoriety are attractive devices. I never thought I was handsome. When interviews asked about it, I'd say, what good looks? I said I was fit, but never felt I was handsome. Now everybody's fit and I'm not. I pretty much tell girls who hit on me just for me. Hell, after the criminal trial, 2 or 3 of my first affairs were with people I met at the front gate of my house. Tourists would stop in the driveway, I got to know them, and would have a little fling with them.
Did some of the attention surprise you? I mean, we read that women threw panties over your gate.
They threw them over the wall. The media wrote that I was bragging about it. No. I wasn't bragging about it. I was perplexed by it. I always got over with women as a good guy. A nice guy athlete. But when I became an infamous guy, it was almost like I had some kind of Spanish fly emanating from my body. Somebody needs to study the phenomenon.
Do you believe that remark?
I know.
Do you believe this guy?
Again,
oh my God.
He has to let everyone know that nothing has changed. Life is better than ever.
No problem. Nobody accuses him of being a murderer. That's all media garbage. Women are coming at him all the time.
Wouldn't you like to shoot these women and sleep with them?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah. Because
nice giving them a good life.
I know. Because we've seen them when they were outside the gate.
Yeah, they were hot,
video.
too.
Oh, yeah, they were. Just disgusting.
Stupid women out there.
Well, we need to do as Juice says and study this phenomenon. How did life change when you moved to Florida?
He's really holding court at this part of the interview.
Definitely. You know? He's in full control.
There's a little more international flavor there.
See, look at that. See the flippancy? Everything is so great.
It's a very Latin community. It ain't like I dated a lot of girls. I'm 55 years old now. I've always had this reputation of dating a bunch of girls, but it's not true. Most of my relationships, even my illicit ones, were long-term relationships. One of my pet peeves is a tabloid saying I'm always into blondes. My first wife wasn't blonde, Nicole was, but Paula Barbier wasn't a blonde. Krista Prody, when I met her, she was brunette. She lightened her hair like a lot of women do. Let me tell you something. A man has no say what a woman is doing to her hair. Of course, unless you murder him and get it all bloody.
Yeah, but then they just dye it red. It was said that Christy dyed her hair to look more like Nicole, that she was a Nicole look-alike. Too many people. That seemed kind of creepy.
She's by far not the first girl they said was a Nicole look-alike. But with Christy, the papers airbrushed her, and they took the cleft out of her chin.
Once again, you know what he's trying to do?
Dick.
He's trying to set the stage for the idea that photographs are manipulated all the time,
right,
including his.
Yeah, to his deficit.
That's what he's doing.
They call me Juice, the Juice.
He doesn't miss a trick. He doesn't miss a trick to just veer off the road, make a ridiculous point, and then come back.
Oh, come on.
Isn't
the
that
papers
something?
are trying to make her...
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put Bruno Maglis on him 6 months before the murders.
Yeah.
That was the classic lie that there is no way out of. God damn it, I wish they'd found those pictures during that trial.
How frustrating.
A lucky bastard.
Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you just know it?
After he's declared not guilty, in case people forgotten, and before the civil trial, Daniel Petrocelli scoured the Buffalo newspaper, and they found a picture of him working for NBC on the field at Rich Stadium wearing the murdering shoes.
You're not kidding.
Bruno Maglis.
Oh,
I think they were size 11, and they got the photo enhanced, and sure enough, they were the very shoe they thought the murderer was wearing.
That was the killer shoe, yeah, the footprint, which was so unique that they had.
There's no way out of that one. Nothing you can do. So what does he do? He says the picture was doctored. The picture was taken of him working for NBC 6 months before the murders.
It was damning. It was damning. And this was...
The Buffalo newspaper is going to put Bruno Maglis on him 6 months before the murder. Just for fun.
Just for, yeah, exactly. And this was, these were the shoes that were the ugly-ass shoes. I wouldn't be caught wearing those ugly-ass shoes.
That's right, which is where this came from.
You ugly murderer! You ugly ass murderer!
And
that's
when they went through that picture, and if you ever read the transcript for the civil trial, it's a really funny 20 pages.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's O.J. talking about the pictures and trying to imply that they played with them.
Right.
And so he says, first of all, those aren't my shoes. I would never wear ugly-ass shoes like that.
Yep.
And they go on and say, well, what else is wrong with the pictures? He says, I don't think I have a coat like that.
That's right. That's right.
And something wrong with my head.
Right.
And they're like, well, what's wrong with your head?
Everything looks a little big.
That's what he said.
That was the big remark when he was presented with the photographs laid in front of him. Yeah. Remember that video?
Yes.
He was just looking at, and he had that look on his face like, let me interrogate these pictures. His brow was wrinkled and so he's looking at that. Well, everything looks a little big. Yeah. You know, just that.
That crazy picture I'm looking at. What is this crazy thing you put in front of me?
God, I don't know what's going on here, but
I don't know who this guy is. Is he supposed to be me?
The hell is it? I mean, for one thing, everything looks a little big. All right, after you left off just after the cleft out of her chin.
Okay.
Start with,
You know what they can do with photos? Truth is, they don't look alike. I see some of the people on these shows. It's eerie. She looks so much like Nicole. Well, if I saw a girl look like Nicole, I'd be totally turned on by her. I always loved the way Nicole looked. I've seen guys marry carbon copies and later they divorced. What is so eerie about this?
Of course,
maybe it said you almost cut her head off.
Yeah, she was almost decapitated by the blood, by the knife. Are you still going out with Christy Brody?
Yes, we have dated on and off a few times. We got back together not long ago. She went off to do what she had to do, and I'm seeing her again now.
Are your children critical of the women you date?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Any teenage daughter's going to be critical of anything her father does or says. That's very telling, isn't it?
Absolutely.
He just takes it as the fact that, 911 is called 4 times a day from his house.
Oh, yeah.
She's got this dad who's, doing piles of drugs around her. And he's bringing chick upon chick home who look exactly like her dead mother, who he killed, who she lives with.
That's right.
So, any child is going to be critical of her dad when she's a teenager. It's the most normal thing in the world.
I love that when he drops into that parental role. Boys are a little more understanding.
Boys are a little more understanding of what single dads do than their daughters are.
Would you run any prospective girlfriends by her?
I don't have to, because she's always giving me her opinions, like it or not. Here again, you can tell he hates Sydney.
No question about it.
Lately, all we've been talking about is college. That's what a big focus has been with her and me.
I mean, it's just like we learned yesterday, the part where he references his daughter when he said, well, I just told her she needs to look in the mirror. I mean,
that was the 911. That's why she called 911.
Yeah. I mean, that was a lousy thing to say.
I would be willing to bet that he tells her she's fat all the time.
I wouldn't.
She's overweight. He's the kind of guy that would do that.
I believe
you gotta lose some weight.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have to approve Sydney's boyfriend? Wait, I already went to. Let's see. My daughter drives it. Oh,
you know what? This kid though is obviously a strong female. Just get the impression that Sydney is talks back to him and.
Oh no! She doesn't respect him.
And this is not a guy who needs a strong female around him.
Does not.
I
he
would
has to
get
dominate.
her out of that house.
Yeah. Do you have to approve Sydney's boyfriends?
Oh, with kids, you have no say. I try to raise these kids to be independent. I've probably given them more room than I should have. I spoiled them a little bit. My daughter drives a Lexus. But I spoil everybody in my life. I'm such a nice guy. I mean, in between the lines, that's what he's saying.
It helps to spoil them after you kill the mother.
In addition, my kids have had to endure a little more than some other people's kids.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they've come out of it in pretty good shape. More than not, they still give me the fatherly respect. Of course, maybe it's because their mother's head was hanging by a shred.
Yeah, sure.
It might be respect, quote unquote.
Yeah, the fact that the kids, every time they go to school, people yell, your dad's a murderer. You know that, don't you?
We should stop here and get to traffic and news. Why don't we take a 5-minute break? We'll take a short break, 5 minutes. We'll come back with Trudy, and we'll wrap OJ up.
And there's no let up. As a matter of fact, this gets stronger over the next few pages.
I think, what do we have, a couple pages left?
Yeah, we got 3 pages.
Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but you know what? It's really,
it
gets real good. It gets delicious.
Well, we learned pretty much who the next person he's going to kill is going to be.
That's a fact.